The sponsor of today's interview is College Soccer's Next. College Soccer's Next is the #1 college soccer recruiting service focused on helping aspiring prospective student athletes achieve their dreams of playing college soccer. Some of the services that they're able to provide, I got to read them off the list, include a college soccer mentor who's gone through the recruiting process firsthand, a strength and conditioning coach, a sports nutrition coach, a professional highlight video editor, as well as a personal evaluation and strategic proven plan of action, as well as much, much more to make your dreams of playing college soccer turn into a reality. Book your free consultation call today down in the description at collegesoccersnext.com. Take your first steps at earning your college soccer scholarship today. Enjoy the episode, folks.
Welcome back to Kick a Ball Pod. I'm here. I'm excited to be here. It's an honor to be here. I'm sitting with a great player that in the country and playing Division I soccer here. I'm excited to be here with the Mexican midfield maestro, Alberto Anaya from Bowling Green University. Alberto, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. I'm excited to start. So how I start every interview, because just wanted to be free flowing, and I think it's always easier to think and start like this. I want you to kind of speak to me about your soccer game, like describe it through like other players. I know Tony Cruz is one of your favorite players, but just describe to me your soccer game through your own lens, your strengths, and even some of your weaknesses if you want to touch on them.
Yeah. As you said, Tony Kroos is my favorite player. I think something I have is the technique, the vision. Think what I'm gonna do before I receive the ball. So I look at players like that. Players, maybe the speed is not as good. So then we have to do other things to think faster, have an idea of what to do before the ball, like Xavi, Hernandez in the time, Iniesta, like kind of those kind of midfielders. I think now I look to Bruno Fernandes too. He's a great example. So yeah, I think that's the way I would describe my game.
Yeah, no, I mean that's great. Yeah, and is that something you've always kind of understood about your build and your play and the way you like to play? Is it someone that's more technical and obviously trying to be 2 steps ahead of the other opponents, obviously then maybe beating them physically with a big sprint or being very physical?
Yeah, no, definitely. I started to realize once I was getting older, I realized obviously, for example, coming here to America, people are more fast, athletic. So I was like, okay, I need to start up in my thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I'm not saying by any means that I cannot compete with anyone, because I can definitely do it. But you have to be smart about what are your strengths and your weaknesses too. And that's what I think I did really good in America too, because I was someone different. It was not the always the athletic fast guys. It
Mm-hmm.
was more like a guy with technique. My height is not as big as people in here, so I
Yeah.
just had to adapt to that too.
Yeah. Would you say is there a difference to the type of player you were when you were in Mexico versus when you came here?
I don't think so. No, I think I've been doing the same thing. It's just I have to put more emphasis on kind of those situations.
Got it. But I want you to just kind of start from the beginning. Just talk to me about your upbringing in Mexico, being there with your family. I just speak about that and how you grew, obviously, to start playing the sport you love.
Yeah, so it was a funny story because my dad likes American football, and he always wanted me to try that. And but the thing is, his friend he played professional in Mexico,
Mm-hmm.
and he will invite us to like the games to the stadium, and I started liking it so much, like just by watching. So then I started playing, just like around the house, whatever. I was born in Mexico City, but when I was 4, I moved to Querétaro.
Okay.
And once I went to Querétaro, and the first school I got, they had a soccer team. So I told my dad, I want to try. And he was like, okay, perfect. try it, see if you like it. And then my first game, I scored 13 goals.
Jesus.
So then he was like, okay, maybe this is for you.
Yeah.
And then
Dominated from the
yeah,
beginning.
that's how it started because of my dad's friend that he used to play professional, and yeah.
Wow. Yeah. It's very nice. It's funny that you said your dad likes American football because I saw and read and it's actually kind of spectacular. I know your sisters. Obviously, your sister was very good at soccer and played at a high level. But your brother goes to Bowling Green, and he plays on the football team and he's a kicker on the team, which is crazy. He went viral for kicking like a 50-yard field goal with a blindfold on
With
or
the
something.
blind, yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. Speak to me about that. I mean, obviously you're the older brother and kind of you go to school and you make that jump to come here to America and play. Um, how did it feel and what was the kind of pride you felt seeing your younger brother come and join and be able to flourish at a high level program like Bowling Green?
Right. Well, to be honest, one of my plans when I decided to come to America was to help my brother too.
Mm,
Because being in Mexico as a American football player, yeah, you can play over there because there are teams and schools for it, but not as a high level as America, you know? So, and I've seen him working really hard, super hard, that I'm like, if I go to America, wherever I go, I'm gonna try to help him. So that's what I did. I came here my first month or so. I talked to my coach in Bowling Green, and I was like, "Coach, I have a brother. Is there any chance you can like help me to contact the football coach or whatever?" And then we ended up setting like a not like a meeting. We just introduced each other, and I told the football American football coach, "Hey, I have my brother. He's a kicker. He has some highlights, whatever I can show you. He just wants to be seen. Like you decide if you like it or not, but just give him an opportunity." So he came. Well, he there started emails, the recruiting process, whatever. He came with no scholarship,
mm,
and it was a big deal for us because the money, whatever, it was really hard.
yeah.
But it was just one semester, so he like started trying out whatever in the team, and then eventually he got the full ride, and now he's
Wow.
playing. It's amazing.
Yeah. No, that is really amazing. Wow. That's crazy. And I mean, just even staying on the topic of family, how important is family to you? I know obviously coming from a different country, you're sometimes can feel alone, and obviously you've been here for a while now, and obviously have your friendships, teammates, and everything going on in your life. But just speak to me about how important your parents and your other siblings are to you.
No, they're everything for me. Like everything I am right now, it's because of them, my parents, and they they came last weekend because we played the NBC Championship final.
Hmm.
So they surprised me. They came to watch the final, and after I knew that was my last college game, and they were like happy and sad at the same time. They were listening to um, conversations of other people, parents, coaches, having about me, and they were just so proud. And I was just like, well, guys, it's because of you, because everything I am is because of you, all the hard work and effort of not having me with you. Because when I was in Mexico playing, I left home when I was 13. So
Wow.
they've been doing an incredible job of being there for me, seeing me every 2 weeks when I was in Mexico, or here twice a year or whatever. So everything they done, it's being paying off right now with getting a scholarship and playing at a high level over here.
Hmm. And it gets emotional, definitely. I can imagine it gets emotional, like speaking about that stuff after your last game. I
Yeah,
can understand that, yeah.
definitely.
But I also want to speak about, so obviously you talked about the age you left home. I mean, you went to go spend time. You spent time at Club Azul, and you played in their U15 ranks, and their U17 ranks, and even Club Leon. in their U17 and U20. I mean, these are two massive clubs in Mexico. These are Club Azul is leading Liga right now in Liga MX in Mexico. These are two major clubs. To speak to me about your times in these academies and playing there and the level that you saw as playing there.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. My team, the team I support in Mexico is Cruz Azul. So having the opportunity to play there as my first academy team was awesome. I spent there when I was 13 till I was 17. Great memories over there. Great level, being one of the four biggest team in Mexico. It was just unbelievable. Then my last year of under 17, I decided to go to Club Leon, which was also closer to home. It's just like an hour and a half closer, and that was insane. It was obviously I was older now. I was 17. Then I played with the under 20s. I had the opportunity to play or to spend some preseasons with the first team. So being so close to them is just awesome. I had a great experience over there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you walk straight into my next question is, and I know you spent those three preseasons with the pro team. I mean, obviously you play academy and you're a good player, but then you have to tell me about those preseasons. I mean, you're playing with pro players at a very high level, especially in South America or in Central South, obviously North America with Mexico. But just speak to me about those preseasons, the intensity, the technique, some of the IQ that we're talking about as you being a technical player, like some of the things you saw.
No, it was great. I have memories obviously of all of it, but there was one that I would say it was my favorite because I was being more part of it. Sometimes is the young players go and they practice with them, but they're not really that involved with the professional team. But my last one, I was kind of being even part of the second team, like not the starting 11, obviously, but the second one. And it was just great having players like national team players. At that time, we have four Mexican national players. They were playing Copa Oro. Um, it was just awesome learning from them. I'm always a guy that likes to ask questions. Like I'll be with them. I'll be like, hey, how can I do this better, or how you do that? At that time, there was Luis Montes, a professional player in Leon. He's he was same profile like me, or maybe I was like him.
Yeah.
He was like short guy, really technical, great feet. He was lefty though. He was the only difference. But little memories like my first ever practice with them. He came to me. He was watching me play, and he came. He said, "You remind me of myself when I was 17." I was like, "Wow, this is my favorite player in Mexico,"
Yeah.
and he's saying that to me is just awesome.
Yeah.
So those the obviously the rhythm, the technique, everything changes. You cannot make that many mistakes. One mistake and it's a goal. So it's obviously more pressure, but at the same time, when you play with players with another level, it's easier too. I used to play. I play as a 10,
Mm.
8, 10, and there was the last preseason that coach told me, "Hey, I think you can play really good as a 6." Like we play 4-3-3, and I was like defensive midfielder. I'm like, I've never played there. Like my role is more attack than defend.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, but you're really good with the ball technique. I think you can help us on the build, having the ball and move it clean
Sit
to
there.
the.
Yeah. Sit there. Pick passes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, okay. He even got mad at me because obviously I was a young guy, so I was trying to show I was running around. He
Hmm.
goes, no, you're playing as a holding midfielder. You don't move from the middle. I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm not doing anything. He's like, exactly, just stay there.
Mm.
The other guys are going to do the defensive part. You just stay there. And it
Yeah.
was great, obviously, building from the back with players, technical players, and perfect grass. it's just amazing.
Can't ask for anything more.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah. Speaking about that, and you can obviously think, and now you've obviously played in America for 4 seasons here at a high level, playing D1. Speak to me about the differences of one, obviously the play versus, and Mexico is more relatable a little bit to South America, and we get around and you get into tackles and stuff. Obviously, with also the technical ability. But speak to me about some of the traits and the way soccer's played in Mexico versus America, and then even after that, speak on the way it's taught to you, how coaches would speak to you, players speak to you, versus how you see it in America.
Yeah. Well, I feel for me the biggest difference is the tactical part. In Mexico, it's all tactics. Like the practices are even like slow because it's a lot of tactics. You think, oh, this team plays like this, we have to attack like this, we have to defend like this, all based on the other team.
Mm.
And obviously here it's a little bit different because it's college, it's not the same. But here it's more of, like aggressiveness, more run. I feel like people in Mexico are maybe more technique, people here more athletic,
Yeah.
they run stronger, bigger. So I think the technical and physical part are the things that um, are different, and you can see it also in the first teams, like the national team from Mexico and national team from America. Like it's been 3 games where even big thing from America that I learned
Yeah.
is set pieces.
Mm.
Set pieces here, they take it to another level,
Yeah.
and you can see it. You can see Mexico is losing to USA in 2 corners or 2 set pieces every
Mm.
time. So that kind of difference are the ones that are. And then Mexico is, we're always good, but I feel like the soccer is not going anywhere right now. And
Mm.
America, it's growing so much.
Yeah. No, it's very, very true. Yeah, I can agree with that. Mexico's been a powerhouse, especially in the past couple of years, and then in recent times, it's been. Yeah, I don't want to even say it's going down, but it's just kind of
It's
staling.
just staying there. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely feel that. I definitely understand that. But speak to me about. So now I want to progress. So obviously you. Well, yeah. Speak to me about your the opportunity and the idea to come to America and come to Bowling Green. How did you find Bowling Green, and how did you end up actually making your way here?
Yeah, well, I decided to come to Bowling Green because there's an agency in Mexico. It's called B1.
Mm.
Um, Lucas Balding is a great guy. He was watching my games in Mexico. He saw that was my last year under 20s, and then I will have to make a decision either to keep looking, like second divisions in Mexico or something, or find another path. And he contacted me. He showed me like this is what we do, and it took me a lot. It took me like 4 months, maybe more, to decide like what I wanted to do. And then eventually I was like, okay, I think there's more in America. I can get my degree, and then even I can play after. While in Mexico, maybe I play a few years here, and then what? I'm not gonna have a degree. I'm not gonna have anything else.
Mm.
So I decided, okay, I'm going to America. I made a highlight video. I sent all my documents, whatever, to him, and Bowling Green was the first offer. And I said yes right away. I said, even my agent was like, well, if you wait, you might get more teams. I was like, to be honest, I don't know anything about America. I don't know anything about college. I just I just want to go there. Like I don't care.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
it's Ohio. It's gonna be cold. It's I'm like, I don't care. I just want to go there, and
wow.
that's how it became Bowling Green.
Yeah, I was gonna say no. I was gonna say it's funny. So, um, I didn't even mention this, but I played Division 3 in New York, in upstate New York. So you're really not that far because it's kind of just like going across. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, the jump. I can only imagine the jump from Mexico to Ohio is gotta be way different. Actually, how was that? Actually, how was that difference in going from Mexico to Ohio in the USA? It's not like going to California or
Yeah.
Florida somewhere very warm and tropical or warm all year round.
No, it was crazy, especially because I came in the winter. So
Mm.
I came in December 2021. So it was like I came in the worst time. My first day I landed in Detroit and it was snowing. I
Oh
saw
wow.
snow for the very first time, and it was hard. It's I'm still not used to the cold. It's something like I don't think you can get used to it.
Oh.
But my first month or so, maybe 2 months, were really hard. I was because the first 2 weeks you're like, oh, it's no, it's fun, something different. But after those 2 weeks, you're like, oh,
And you're
oh,
like
okay.
walking to class and stuff, and it's like,
In the
yeah,
class, walk to practice, pool. It's
yeah,
it's
terrible.
brutal.
So yeah, you go to practice with like the hoodie on, like neck warmer, everything,
Everything.
everything.
Now
Yeah,
see players here with they're not as you see them and they're not it's not like as warm. I'm like, guys, what are you doing? It's freezing outside.
yeah. No, it's crazy. It's crazy. I like grew up. So I play obviously up here, but I grew up like downstate. Like I grew up right outside New York City, and like I'm still as soon as it like a little bit under like 40 degrees, I'm everything like everything.
Me too.
But obviously you came, and I mean you had a spectacular first season here. I mean spectacular. Honestly, before I even ask you to speak about it, I'm just gonna read off some of the awards that you achieved that freshman year. So you got 2021 MAC Freshman of the Year. You were named Bowling Green Male Newcomer of the Year. You got All MAC second team. You were second team national on the All Freshman team from College Soccer News and Top Drawer Soccer. You were in a United Coaches All Region third on the United Coaches All North Region third team. You were selected to OCSA All Ohio first team, and you were ranked highest at 16th on the Top Drawer Soccer top 100 freshman list in the nation. Just speak to me about that first season. What clicked for you? Did you just obviously it looks like you just grabbed everything by the scruff of the neck? Just talk to me about that first season here at Bowling Green.
No, it was great. It was great. I came on Bowling Green was just a MAC champion, so I knew they were a really good team. And then I have really good players, and I just wanted to prove that I can do something. You know what I mean? I came, and many people it takes time to adapt. I think, yeah, maybe sometimes, but football is football everywhere. So I
Yeah.
just came, and as I said, I think it was great, especially first year because I was a different player here, especially in the MAC. There's players like it's just tackles and brutal fouls, and it's just aggressiveness, blue collar, and then you see this Mexican guy with technique, putting calm to the ball. Like it was just different for me, and I enjoyed. I enjoy when people are aggressive to me because one good touch and see you. So I think that was the main part of my success on my first year because I was like I want to prove something and I just got adapted really fast.
Yeah. Yeah, and I even like that point that you made. I think, and I think that's very important and something that should be kind of pushed more and more important to certain American players, and the fact that I think we do have this teaching and learning of obviously you learn how to pass and play, and you do possession and stuff, but you also it's very fast, and because we're athletic, everybody's trying to get around. Where I think some players thrive in just ease in the pace and the ball moves and the game like comes to you. And I think it moves, not that it moves too fast, but I think everybody's trying to move too fast all the time. And those players, like you said, like you obviously are able to slow the game down and benefit from it. But obviously, we move on to your sophomore year, and again, another good year. You got all MAC second team, and you finished third on the team with 10 points. But I think that's the season you got injured for a little bit and missed a bit. Well, just speak to me about getting injured for the first time, because obviously, as another player that plays collegiate soccer, the seasons we're not like a pro soccer team, so you get hurt and you miss 4 games, but 4 games is 2 weeks, and you feel like you've missed a bit of time and you have to work your way back in. Just speak to me about kind of getting hurt, and again, still a great season though.
No, yeah, it was definitely hard. As you said, I think it was my calf or something like that. So it was like 4 weeks. So how many games you miss in 4 weeks? At least four, but
Yeah.
here it's like 6.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really tough. We obviously I set up a really good first year, so everyone was expecting, if not the same, better for me
Mm-hmm.
in the second year. And then obviously the injury was tough. It was hard to lose so many games by the injury. So yeah, but injuries happen in football, so you just have to try to get healthy as soon as possible and try to help the team in either way you can do it.
Absolutely. And then moving on to your junior year, I think things were able to start rolling again. And I know you got a little bit injured, had a little bit of an injury in that season too. But first, I just want to speak on, so that season they gave you the number 10 jersey, which to me means, hey, we know what we're dealing with, and we know what kind of player you are, and how everybody values you at college and on your team. But also, you got the captain's armband, and you were named a captain for the season. And I know you were captain formerly on some of those Club Azul and Club Leon teams when you were a little bit younger. And I always think you have captains everywhere, and you have people that speak everywhere. You don't need to be the captain to speak and voice your opinion and lead. But it looks like that's something that's been uh, a part of the way you play and motivating your teammates and stuff. Just speak to me about receiving that captaincy in your junior year and being a captain and throughout your career, soccer career.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like the pressure that I like. I Before the season started, I talked to my coach. We lost our original number 10. So the coach, I want that number 10. I want that pressure. I want that. Obviously, when as a soccer player, you want to beat that guy, or you see that guy, you see, oh, that's number 10. That's the guy.
Yeah.
So I was like, coach, I want that. I think I'm gonna handle it really well. And then him and my teammates decided me to be a captain, and it's just great. It's having that responsibility and even that pressure is it's awesome. I think obviously leading by example. I'm probably not a guy that yells or like communication wise. I'm kind of like a not like a shy guy, but more like a reserved guy. But we all have different ways to lead. We obviously have. I think we have 3 captains in the team, and each of them have a different role. Like there's the guy that's more vocal. There's me, the guy that's more reserved but shows in different things. You know what I mean? So it was just great to have that responsibility and being able to do it for 2 years, because that was my first one, and then I had it this year. So it's just great for the trust they have in me.
Yeah, no. That makes a lot of sense. And again, even that junior year, continue to thrive. And you guys obviously, well, you guys switched. And so, yeah, you got all MVC first team, and you got the United Soccer Coaches All West Region third team. And then again, you made that OCSA All Ohio first team. And then, yeah, we move into your senior year. And again, as a person that I just finished my senior year, and we lost in the semifinals. So, and I know you guys lost in that final, which is tough, a tough way to end your soccer career at college. But I just want to speak to me about your feelings that you had heading into the season, and and just how excited you were to get into it and play your last season as a senior.
It was so excited. It was excited and I was nervous at the same time, because it's my last one. Um, since the last game of my junior year, I knew this was going to be my last one. So I started preparing the spring. The summer, I also playing for Wayne, grade level over there, because I knew I needed to do something like that to, get ready for the fall, which was my senior year. So it had to be all or nothing. So I was kind of that mentality the whole year of this is my last one. I'm gonna enjoy it, but I'm gonna work harder than ever, because it's my last one, and I just wanna leave a good thing that I've done before, and it's just something that I wanna do.
Absolutely. And yeah, I mean, shine again in this senior year. I mean, all MVC, first team. You had 15 points, 3 goals, 3 assists, or 9 assists. Yeah, 3 goals. Yeah, and then tied the school, and then you tied the school record in that game where you got 4 assists, a record that's stood since 1989. You got 4 assists in a game, and that dominating 5-0 win against Eastern Illinois. I mean, do you have any fond? I mean, that's a fond memory, something to definitely look back on. You're in the record books somewhere when people look back. How did that game go? How did everything connect so well for you? And I mean, yeah, just speak to me about that.
No, it was awesome. It was actually this is a Ohio thing, but it was raining so bad. It was really cold. The field was a disaster. But we wanted to play, so my coach was like, "Okay, our field is not gonna work." We ended up finding like an indoor um, field, so we moved over there, and we're like, "Yeah, we don't care where we play. It's just we just want to play." And then
Yeah,
everything clicked off that day. Like it was 3 assists in the first half, and then if you start like that, if you start with an assist or 2 assists in the first 20 minutes, then all the confidence, everything starts going on. I did my last assist in the fourth, my fourth one in the second half, and because we had so many games in our legs before, and we were winning 5-0, my coach took me off. I was like, "Come on, coach, I want my goal."
yeah,
I've been assistant, but I haven't scored. But it's some personal things that you have, but obviously the team is more important. Then we
yeah,
were ready to play the next weekend, so it was perfect.
yeah. And to not bring up a so fond memory, but it did mark the end of a spectacular college career that you had. Just speak to me a little bit. You don't even need to speak to me about the loss in itself, but just that kind of ending to Evansville and in in losing that game. It's always tough, and you want to advance to the finals and win the final and end up on this high note, like every collegiate player. But just speak to me about maybe how that game went. And obviously, what you guys think you could have done better. Obviously, looking back, you think you could do a bunch of things better. But yeah, just speak to me a little bit about that.
Yeah. Well, it was a weird game. It was a windy game in Missouri. Um, First half, we have the wind in our favor. And in these situations, the wind affects a lot because depends where it goes. It,
Yeah,
it affects. We will kick the ball and the ball will stay in the air and come back. It was just weird, but we started losing the game. We were building. We lost the ball. We conceded, and then we scored 2 goals right away in like 10 minutes. So we were winning 2-1. We defended the lead until I think we're like 10 minutes left on the game. We
mm,
conceded a set piece. We go to overtime, and they scored another set piece. So it was just brutal. We conceded 2 set pieces the whole year, and then we conceded two in one day. So it happens. Obviously, it's not the way I wanted to end the, my college career, but it is what it is. You lose games, you win games, and it was just a tough one.
yeah, yeah. I think you get emotional definitely afterwards as you're like sitting there starting to think like, damn, this is like there's not like another game, another tomorrow.
Yeah.
It gets tough. Definitely gets tough. Um, but one thing we focus on here at Kickable a lot with with obviously our high level D1 and D2 and all levels of division, high level division of college sports. We also focus on the divisions in America and working our way down from MLS to obviously USL Championship, USL 1, 2. And so obviously, yeah, you mentioned it before. I just wanted you to touch on playing USL 2 and the levels that you saw. I know you played um, a couple seasons with Fort Wayne, and then you also even had a couple games with Flint City. Just speak to me about those two teams, some of the levels there, the coaching and your time spent at those two, especially I know Fort Wayne.
No, it's great. It's the summer experience is awesome. I know people have talked to me before about, the summer. Sometimes it could be not as not as good in terms of the things that you have, the equipment, whatever. Um, but for me, it was great. Like Fort Wayne and Flint, both teams are high level in terms of everything. Like we always have something. Like we had the food, we had the place where to stay for the whole summer,
Mm,
great practices, and great teams. Both were great teams. When I had my season in Flint, we made it into the conference final. We lost, and then with Fort Wayne last year, we made history in the club, winning the first game ever, and then we lost against Flint. That was right there.
yeah,
But in terms of the experience, is just great. Both great teams, probably both the best teams for me, of what I've seen
yeah,
in terms of the way they take care of you and the way they take it serious. In USL two, it's definitely Fort Wayne and Flint.
yeah, absolutely. And really, just lastly, I just want you to really just speak on your dreams and aspirations for the future with your own soccer career. How far? I mean, I can tell by how you're talking. I can tell by how far you want to take it. But just in your own words, how where do you want to take soccer and where do you see your soccer journey going from here?
Yeah, well, obviously my dream is to be a professional soccer player. It's been since I'm 4 years old. So, I'm done with college now. I'm gonna be look for a team. I will definitely be looking for something. Um, I'm done with my visa is done because obviously I came as a student, F1
Mm,
visa student. So now I'll have these months until I don't know February to find something. So that's my goal. That's my dream, and I'm gonna keep looking for it.
absolutely. And is it a case of are you gonna look kind of everywhere and obviously you want to get the best opportunity for yourself? Is it looking at higher USL teams in the USL Championship, or is it anything international, maybe back in Mexico or where the best team maybe just presents itself?
Yeah, I mean I'm open to everything for sure, but I think my plan is to stay here in America. Um, Obviously, championship. Um, if something happens in the draft too, like
Yeah,
whatever it happens, my plan is to stay here in America because I've enjoyed so much since I came here, and I just want to stay here for a good time.
absolutely, absolutely. Well, yeah, Alberto, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you speaking to me, and yeah, I'm excited, and I'll definitely be watching to see where the soccer career goes because I really believe it can go far.
No, thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, no problem at all. No problem. All right, Alberto.